What's up, Moose family? It's Jim Flanagan here. Another edition of MHL SportsCenter, recapping a game from last Sunday night. And we got a lot of games here, a lot of highlights, the box scores, you name it. Let's begin here, starting things off in the MHL, where we had the Talladega Knights taking on the Mexicans. Now, both teams heading into this series here, undefeated with a 3-0 record. For the Talladega Knights, without BC Soft, well, in this place, we got Rishkoy, who also filled in last week and did a great job. And for the Mexicans, they're going to be without one of their top scorers, Datsuk, out. And in this place, Buddy H9 playing forward here. The Talladega Knights here, man, I mean, they sweep the Mexicans, get swept here. Game number 1, 4-2. Chubb's getting a hat trick there. Game 3, 4-3. Scotty getting the game winner in that game there, and then 3-1. So taking all three there. The final stats here: Chubb's reborn with 5 goals, 2 assists, 7 points. Lebunski's 3 goals, 5 assists. Chunky Feces with 1 goal, 5 assists, and Scotty there on D, 2 goals, 2 assists, and that game winner in game number 2. We have some highlights here. Game number 1, the score was 3-2, and then tackle dummy with a big save there, stopping Sainus Pone to prevent the comeback there to tie it up. And then we also have the game winner by Scotty. Let's roll the clip. So the Talladega Knights there improved to 6-0, undefeated here so far. Moving on here, next series, we got 96 Ways to Win, who are still looking for win number 1, taking on 1.21 Gigawatts. And the Gigawatts here sweep the series, but it wasn't easy. 2 overtime wins in this one. 5-3 final, game 1. Game 2, 3-2 in overtime. And then game number 3, 5-4 in overtime. Marty McFly coming out with 2 overtime winners there in both game 2 and 3. He ended up with 5 goals, 4 assists. Had the 2 game winners. Mello with 4 assists on defense. Goofy J, 2 goals, 8 assists, 10 points. And Agent J with 6 goals, 5 assists. The goaltender there, Sobi IR Fierce, with 35 saves on the night. I also got to bring up the name Bender79 in the losing effort here, but he managed 6 goals there for 96 Ways to Win. We actually have the 2 overtime game winners there by Marty McFly. Let's roll the clip there. Let's go back in time here. Marty McFly. Alright, next series here, it's going to be Clerks taking on Breath Stanking Johns. For the Clerks, without their top goaltender there, what about Bob? But in this place, another good goalie, Jason Blaze filling in. And also, you're going to have the matchup of, for the Breath Stanking Johns, you have Jay Zamorski taking on Sacred Silence, one of the 2 probably best forwards in the league. Game number 1 here. 4-2 final, Breathtaking Jones taking game 1. Jason Morski with a hat trick. Game 2, it's the Clerks winning 4-2 with Sacred Silence getting a hat trick. Game number 3 goes to overtime, and then it's Jason Morski with the overtime game winner. 3-2 final. Stats on here: Sacred Silence with 5 goals, 2 assists. Jason Morski with 6 goals. And Hugh Laurie had 2 goals, 4 assists. Oju Stupp with 4 assists. And Giant 918 in net there. 32 saves for him. We actually have one of the hat tricks there by Jason Morski, and also that overtime game winner to take the series, winning 2 out of 3. Let's roll the clips, guys. then the final series here in the MHL for Sunday night, we had Gotham Most Wanted taking on Meme All the Things. Game number 1 here, Meme All Things winning 1-0. DK Don Cherry with the game winner, the only goal of the night there. Matty K gets the shutout win. He had 12 saves. But then game number 2 and 3, Most Wanted win this one. 7-2 final and 5-0 shutout. Yambag with a hat trick in game number 2. And Gotham Most Wanted take the series here, 2 out of 3. Let's take a look at the stats here. Kuzi, 2 goals, 6 assists. Viva La Vida with 4 goals, 2 assists. Yambag, 5 goals, 2 assists. And Albright on defense there, 4 assists and 14 points. All right, now going to the AHL portion where we had Touched by an Uncle taking on the Looney Goons. A very tight series here. Game number 1 going to the Looney Goons in overtime, 3-2. Jack Bauer with the game winner. Game 2, 3-2 final for the Touched by an Uncle. Tied up series. And then game number 3, another 3-2 game in overtime. And it's little spoiler giving the Looney Goons the win and the series here, taking 2 out of 3. But at the end of the night, both teams coming out with 4 points. Let's take a look at the stats here. B.D. Smith, the goaltender there for Touched by an Uncle, 37 saves. D. Mart playing defense there also, getting 3 goals and 1 assist. For the Looney Goons, Jack Bauer, 1 goal, 4 assists. That big goal in that overtime, game 1. And then little spoiler with the other game winner, he had 3 goals, 5 assists. Next series moving on here, it's the Moose Knuckle Puck taking on the Fabrice brothers. And the Knuckle Pucks here are going to take it here with a sweep, taking all 3, improving to 6-0, while the Fabrice brothers dropping to 1-5. Who would have thought? Game number 1, 5-1 final. Game 2, 7-4. And then game number 3, 5-3. Let's take a look at the stats here. Fallen Warrior putting up a lot of points here. 7 goals, 5 assists. WG Phil with 3 goals, 10 assists, 13 points. Dangles and Snipes, 4 goals, 6 assists. And then on defense, Ice Cream Truck with 2 goals, 3 assists. And Crazy Jigs with 1 goal, 6 assists. The next series here, we had the Imagination Doorway taking on Every Day I'm Shuffling. And Doorway here taking all 3, a clean sweep, blowouts here. 8-1 final, 8-1 final again, and then 6-2 final, taking all 3. Imagination Doorway looking real hot here. They improved to 6-0 as well. Another undefeated team here in the MAHL. Take a look at the stats here for Imagination Doorway. Now, game 2 and 3, they were without Jason Blaze. Jason Blaze being called to the MHL for the night, and left Clayton there, 1, 2, 3, stepping in for game 2 and 3, getting the wins there. But what a big night here for Chaos Samurai. 8 goals, 12 assists. Then we had Green Bull Packer with 6 goals, 11 assists. Joe Stowe with 5 goals, 8 assists. Tarian, 2 goals, 7 assists on defense. And also Joe 9692 with 1 goal, 4 assists. The next series here, we had Heroes and Zeros taking on The Winning. Another blowout game here. Heroes and Zeros looking like zeros here. 12-0 game 1, 8-0 game 2, and then 9-2 final. Are you kidding me? I mean, combined here, it's 29 goals to 2. Heroes and Zeros just getting blown out here, and The Winning improving to 5-0-1. Great job there by Shadow. Let's take a look at the stats here. Lazy Monday in net for The Winning, and getting 2 shutout wins, 32 saves on the night. Now, how about this guy, man? Shadow Demon 67. I believe it's a gamer tag change. I believe he was a Rising Legend, if I'm correct. Well, nonetheless, 11 goals, 12 assists. I don't know if these stats are right, but 23 points. Are you kidding me, man? And then we had Scotty Wild Thing only playing 2 games here. 5 goals, 8 assists for him. Shadow, 8 goals, 11 assists. And both defensemen there, Corpsicle and Vane Harvest, 1 goal, 4 assists. Corpsicle looking real good here early in the AHL. And then the final matchup here, we had Question Mark taking on Honored Blades. Honored Blades winning the series here, taking 2 out of 3, winning game 1, 6-3. Game 2, 3-2, but then losing a shootout here, 7-6 final. But nonetheless, win the series 2-3. Take a look at the stats here. Gold, aka Primetime, 27 hits here in the series. He had 5 goals, 5 assists. Ended up with that game winner in game number 2. Mr. Snuggleston with 3 goals, 5 assists. Valorn, 7 goals, 5 assists. And iPass, you score playing defense with 5 assists. Another honorable mention here, Hockey Mike for question mark team. He had 7 goals, 4 assists in the losing effort. Those were the games from last night for the MHL and the MAHL. It's my best part of the show. It's the players of the night. Who were Jim Flanagan's top players? I'm going to give you my top forward, defenseman, and goalies here. And I'm combining both MHL and the AHL. For forward, no question about it here. Shadow Demon, 67, 11 goals, 12 assists, 23 points. I mean, some guys don't get this during the whole week, man. This guy did it in one series. Great job there by Shadow. Defenseman, I got to go with Tarian here. He had 2 goals, 7 assists on defense there for Imagination Doorway. And then the goaltender, my goalie of the night, is going to Lazy Monday. 2 shutout wins, 32 saves, 94 save percentage. I got to give it to him. There's my top players of the night. I also want to thank guys like Marty McFly, NJ Ski, Hugh Laurie. I mean, submitting these highlights. Jason Morski. Got a lot of highlights this week so far here from just Sunday night. And it looks like we're definitely going to have a top 10 by the end of the week. So send in the highlights, guys. It's Jim Flanagan. You guys could also download this in a couple hours. It's going to be live on iTunes as well. See you guys tomorrow.